Think about your last summer as a kid. 3 whole months. It felt like it lasted forever. Swimming, playing outside, staying up, late. Each day felt like its own small lifetime. Now think about last year, the whole year. Where did it go? You blink, and it is March. You blink again, and somehow, it is already December. And the older you get, the faster it moves. Not slightly faster, terrifyingly faster. So what is happening? Is time actually speeding up? Or is something changing inside your brain? Here is the first explanation. And it is uncomfortably simple. When you are 5 years old, 1 year represents 20% of your entire life. That is enormous. 1 year contains a huge chunk of everything you have ever experienced. But when you are 40 years old, 1 year represents only 2.5% of your life. Same amount of clock time. Completely different proportion of your total experience. So your brain is not measuring time in seconds and minutes. It is measuring time relative to how much life you have already lived. A year when you are 10 feels long because it is 10% everything you know. A year when you are 50 feels short because it is only 2% of your story so far. The clock is the same. Your ruler is different. This is called proportional theory, and it explains a lot, but it does not explain everything because there is something much stranger happening inside your brain. Your brain does not record time like a camera. It does not capture every second equally. It records new things. When something is new, your brain pays full attention. It takes detailed notes. It stores rich memories. When something is familiar, your brain goes on autopilot. It stops taking notes. It just processes and moves on. Think about the first time you drove to a new place. You noticed everything, every turn, every building, every landmark. The drive felt long. Now think about driving that same route every single day for a year. You barely remember the drive at all. You arrived. That is it. This is because your brain compresses familiar experiences. It stores them as one file instead of thousands. And when you look back at compressed memories, time feels short. When you look back at rich, detailed memories, time feels long. Now here is the terrifying part. When you are a child, almost everything is new. First day of school, first friend, first trip somewhere, first time tasting something, first time understanding something that confused you before. Your brain is recording constantly, taking notes on everything, building massive rich memory files every single day. But as you get older, your routines lock in. Same job, same commute, same lunch, same conversations, same evenings. Your brain stops taking notes, not because nothing is happening, but because nothing is new. And when you look back at a year of familiar routines, there's almost nothing there, just a blur, a compressed file that your brain processed and moved on from without ever really recording. That is why childhood summers felt endless, not because they were longer, but because every single day was full of things your brain had never seen before. Here is the third explanation, and this one is physical. Your brain keeps time using a biological clock, and that clock runs on metabolism. When you are young, your metabolism is fast. Your heart beats faster. You breathe faster. Your cells develop faster, and your internal clock ticks faster. This means your brain is processing more information per unit of real time, more mental beats per minute. So real time feels slower because your brain is keeping up with so much more of it. As you get older, your metabolism slows down. Your internal clock ticks slower. Your brain processes fewer beats per minute of real time. Scientists actually tested this. They asked people of different ages to estimate when 1 minute had passed without counting. Young people consistently waited longer before saying a minute was up. Older people called it much sooner. Their internal clocks were running at different speeds. The world outside is moving at the same speed. Your internal experience of it is not. There is one more piece, and this one is the most controllable. Your brain only records time when it is paying attention. When you are bored and waiting for something, time drags because your brain is checking the clock constantly, counting, measuring, waiting. When you are completely absorbed in something you love, time vanishes. Not because it moved faster, but because your brain was not watching it. This is called flow state, and children live in it constantly. Play is flow state. Drawing is flow state. Building things is flow state. Exploring is flow state. Children spend most of their waking hours completely absorbed in whatever is in front of them. Their brain is not watching the clock. It is too busy experiencing. Adults spend most of their time either waiting for something to end or rushing towards something else, checking the time, planning the next thing, half present in everything. When you are half present, your brain records half a day. When you are fully present, your brain records a full life. So here's the thing. You cannot change the math. You cannot make 1 year a larger percentage of your life. You cannot speed up your metabolism. But you can do something about the novelty problem and the attention problem. The research is actually very clear on this. People who report that time feels rich and full share specific habits. They try new things regularly. They travel to unfamiliar places. They learn skills they have never had before. They put themselves in situations where their brain has no choice but to pay attention. Every new experience forces your brain to take notes again. Every unfamiliar situation creates rich, detailed memories. And rich, detailed memories make a year feel long when you look back. Not long like a boring wait. Long like a life actually lived. When you were a child, you did not. I know you were doing it right. You were just curious, just present, just experiencing everything like it was the first time, because it was. And your brain recorded all of it. Every summer felt endless because your brain was writing a novel every single day. Now your brain writes a short text message most weeks. But here is what the science actually says. That is not inevitable. It is a choice. Every time you do something new, your brain wakes up again. Every time you pay full attention to what is in front of you, your internal clock slows down. Every time you choose curiosity over comfort, you buy yourself more time, not more minutes, more life. You cannot stop time, but you can make more of it. The question is not why does time move faster as you get older. The real question is, what are you going to do with the time you have left?